Hey, my name is Andrew, and today we're checking out the softstar Switchback. I'm going to do a full review on this boot when the conditions in upstate New York get a little more nasty and cold, but for now, it's been down to like 30 degrees, so I've had a good chance to take this boot out for some walks and some hikes. And yeah, we're just going to talk about the features and my personal experience testing it out so far. To start with, softstar is known for their wide toe box, and this boot actually comes in 2 widths. And if you can believe it, this is not the wide width, even though it looks pretty wide. They also have a primal width, which is great for anyone with extra wide feet. But I also went with the all leather. They have a synthetic version too, but I like leather material for boots because over time the leather will stretch and conform to the shape of your foot. So it feels more natural to me than any other type of material that I've tried. These boots are not 100% waterproof, but they are water resistant, and there are some pros and cons to that. For a waterproof boot, if you are hiking really fast, you're building up some body temperature, or you're going in and out between errands and stores, if you go into like a 70-degree grocery store, your feet are going to be sweating like crazy. Or if you're hiking really fast, it's going to be hard for your feet to wick moisture and to get some of that heat away from your body. So that's why I like a water resistant boot for everything except for maybe like a really rainy, slushy day. And yeah, the Switchback has done pretty well in terms of just like wet grass in the morning, shedding that off. Like I said, I wouldn't take it out in the pouring rain or in like deep slush conditions, but for pretty much everything else like dry snow, expecting this boot to do really well. In terms of other features, they have these nice, thick, durable laces. And unlike a lot of boots, they have like the perfect tension, where they're not loose, but they're not too tight where you can't pull them. So they sit really well where you leave them. And then up at the top of the boot, they've got lace locks. So it's really easy to take the 2 top laces off and slip the boot on and off, like if you've got some snow or you've got some rocks in there. And then speaking of the inside of the boot, I've never seen anything like this, but these boots are 100% lined with merino wool felt, and they are super warm. They're not super thick, so the breathability is still really good. But yeah, when I've been down to 30 degrees so far, these boots are toasty warm, and they're really good at wicking moisture away from my body. Like my feet don't overheat or get sweaty at all in these boots, which is great. In the back, you've got a pull tab. I do wish that there was a little more space for your finger. But yeah, it's pretty wide. It's wider than other pull tabs, so it gives you a lot of grip to get the boot on and off. And the tongue also comes like really far away from the boot, so it's a pretty easy one to slip on and off. Just in terms of the stitching, there are lots of overlays. There's reinforcement in the back. There's multiple panels here overlapping each other. So yeah, a good durable multi-layered boot for water protection and just for longevity. But in terms of the sole of the boot, this thing has the best sole that I've ever tested for a barefoot hiking boot. It's the Vibram megagrip sole. I've never tried one of these, but yeah, look at that flexibility. Like that is just crazy for a boot that is 9 millimeters thick. This is 9 millimeters thick. Like to have this much flexibility is just nuts. And a lot of it has to do with the 6 millimeter Vibram megagrip sole, and then softstar putting in like a slightly more flexible midsole just to give you a little bit more spring, so you're not sitting on something super heavy and stiff, which is great because you get a little bit of isolation from the ground in the winter, a little bit of insulation, but it's not interfering with ground feel as much as you would get from a thicker boot, where you're not going to feel the ground, at all. So I really like that. This sole has the best grip of any sole by far that I've tested, and there are a couple reasons for that. First of all, there's a lot of room in between the treads. So if you're walking on mud or slush or anything like that, it grips really well. But then it's also got these wider panels out on the sides. So it's also good for hard terrain, like walking on roads and walking on rocks. Because if you just have a sole like this. For example, the Barefoot boot is kind of like that. It's very aggressive, but the tread is a little bit more sharp, you know, and if you walk on roads with that, it can wear down a little bit faster. So this is a great all-around tread, probably, yeah, not probably, it is the best tread that I've ever tried. And yeah, I have a pair of Vibram 5 fingers that I've been wearing for 6 years and the tread is still going. So they're definitely the best tread in the world. And I'm really excited to like see where this boot takes me in like the next 10 years. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far on the softstar switchback boot. I think a really great, super lightweight boot that is also incredibly tough with the sole. Really good breathability for fast hiking, but also really warm with the wool insulation. So I'm excited to see how this boot performs as the conditions get more nasty and colder and sloppier, and I will keep you guys updated. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about this boot or about barefoot boots in general, let me know in the comments, and catch you next time. Peace.